Welcome to Table Talk with Nikki G and Juliette, where we bring to you highlights of
entrepreneurs, leaders, organizations, and much more.
A broad spectrum of professionals, including chefs, artists, designers, musicians, and more.
I feel so blessed today. I don't want to live like yesterday. So please don't stop.
Welcome to Table Talk.
Welcome to Table Talk.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Table Talk. Welcome to the Table Talk show with Juliette and Nikki G and Juliette. This is our third taping, and you know, we have so much in store for you. As always, we have so much going on in the background, being that this is our first, how would I say, season, where we have, I don't know how many seasons we'll have within the thing, but we have so much in store for you, you know. This is the holiday weekend, and you know, a lot of people are barbecuing, going out, and above all else is COVID. You know, we're still going through our pandemic, but since I think it was the 1st or the 2nd of June, everything was kind of like basically semi back to normal, but still, you know, everybody who's going through their vaccinations. First, some people are still wearing their mask. Every state have different laws that they're following, including the Caribbean islands. Now, the good news is Trinidad is about to reopen and take flights. Caribbean airline mentioned that they're taking flights right now. And a friend actually sent something to me because, you know, she's been engaged through the pandemic. And that was a tough for her. Basically, well, she is American, and her boyfriend is, or her fiance is in Trinidad. You know, so she's super excited. But before I ramble on about that, let me find get my thoughts together and try to find what she sent me about Trinidad. So, how have you been, Juliette?
Everything has been absolutely amazing, brilliant and amazing. That's something that my niece always says. So, I mean, obviously everybody knows I work from home. So, you know, in terms of me getting up and I'm away from the hustle and the bustle. So I always appreciate that. But, you know, other than that, everything just ran smoothly for the week. We've got a lot to show you. We've got a lot coming towards you. I mean, we've done a lot of interviews even this week in the background. They're not ready yet, but I'm excited about putting it out to show the viewers exactly what we've been working on. Builds up momentum through the week as well, because we're like, oh my God, are we ready? Let's do this, let's do that. There's so much that maybe one day we'll actually show you some of the bloops and blunders that we actually go through, because it's a lot. Me and Nikki are always laughing, by the way.
Oh my God, always.
It's not serious and you know, this stern thing. It's a fun and joke as well as a bit of seriousness that goes along with it. So new venture that we're in with you, so much more exciting.
Yeah. But when we get
did
serious,
you do anything?
It's different. When we get really serious, it's different.
Yeah.
Because between us, we discuss serious things and serious topics. In business together, doing a show together is a totally different avenue, right? There's a lot of things that you're learning that sometimes you want things to be done, I guess, in the right way, you know, and stuff like that.
What you guys don't know is Nikki G is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to getting things done. I can't. I have to tell you, she has so much energy. Yeah, you can do it. Okay, you go do this. And I'm like, wait a minute, because she's doing 101 different things at one time, and it's like, I don't know how she does it, Nikki. I don't know how you do it. I really don't. You're amazing. She's amazing, guys. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah, but you're amazing too. I look at Juliette as somebody who, you know, knows everything. So when I tell her something, I expect her to just pick it out like that. But it's good. She's good in financial aspect of things, right? You want somebody to tell you how to get your budget right. Even decor, like one day we have to do a decor segment, Juliette.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, because she's great with decor, you know, and other little intricate things that I probably won't pick up on. But it's just that I'm so used to multitasking that, and especially when it comes to my phone, it's like boop, 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 and I'm done. But because of doing years and years of it, you know, so you tend to get used to it and stuff.
No time when we are talking, while we're having our conversations and we're laughing and we're filming and stuff, she will go silent for a second and you look over and she's already done like 3 different things on 3 different platforms. And I'm like, wait, you just did what? My phone is dinging, dinging, dinging. and she's talking to me at the same time. I don't know how you do it. This multitasking is a gift. It's a gift.
I'll show you. It's not magic. But it seems crazy because it's 3 different ones, but was great. I mean, we had some other tapings that we did, which was yesterday. The weekend is long, but at the same time, it's going so fast. So there's just a lot of things that's happening. And you know, we have the wine connoisseur, we have the artist that we just put out. We have another artist that's coming up, which is Mandela Links. And now we are going to show you clips from our interview from none other than
Neale's Sweet and Nice Ice Cream. It was an amazing interview and we really had fun. And so I'm excited to present which is part of my family, Andrew, who's going to be speaking regarding the ice cream. So stay tuned.
Welcome to Table Talk. Welcome to Table Talk.
Bringing in Andrew McBarnett, Neale's Sweet and Nice Ice Cream. So all you Trinidadians, shout out.
Oh, hey you, what's this? This is Neale's Sweet and Nice Ice Cream. It's amazing, like really, really good. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, why are you guys getting so much hype on TikTok? Well, it's Caribbean style ice cream with real fruit in it. Like the original founder, Charles A. Neale, used to make it back in Trinidad. It's creamy, dreamy, and delicious, and it always makes me feel like I'm on the beach. So sit back, relax, enjoy a day. Yum.
Yay! And the beauty of this is, I mean, we're going to get into it and he's going to say, you know, which part of Trinidad and all that stuff. But where it originated is from my town. And when I read about it, I was like, no way. Like my town, the area, everything, plus Trinidad. I was like, I thought it was probably Jamaica or something like that, you know? But
actually, he brings to the stage a bit of you and a bit of me because he grew up in London. Oh. And that's where he met my niece and they got married and they now are stationed in Canada. He's bringing in a nice little mix going on there.
That's beautiful. I know some people in Canada that I could tell. Maybe they could tell me because they probably tasted it already. You know?
Yes.
That's gonna be-
and I can't wait for it to get to New York. Me and Nikki are actually going to do a taste testing of some of the ice cream. He's going to be sending it to us this week. We're actually going to do a tasting and we're going to give you all our results of what we think is nice. And well, anyway, I'm not even going to spoil it. So stay tuned for Andrew. Hi, Andrew.
Hello.
Hi, Andrew.
To Table Talk.
Nice to see you.
I'm good. We're good. Today we have Andrew McBarnett. Andrew, I just want you to or let the viewers know the name of the ice cream, where it's from.
Okay.
Because that we're really excited about.
Yeah.
And how all of this came about.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so I'm Andrew McBarnett. I am the co-founder and CEO of Neale's Sweet and Nice Ice Cream. We're a Toronto-based company. We're family and family-led and Black-owned. As mentioned, the company is Neale's Sweet and Nice Ice Cream. We started in Toronto back in 2012 in terms of the idea around restarting the company. The original company was basically by my granddad, Charles Alfred Neale. He started the company, I think it was like 1946. In Trinidad, in a place called Princess Down. For anyone who knows Trinidad well, it's south Trinidad. So he used to actually be a sugarcane farmer. So this was after the war. So he decided to do something where, as he always says, or my aunts and uncles used to say, that he said, essentially, you earn every day, you spend every day, you should earn every day. So he decided to do something where he can actually earn money every day for his growing family, because he had 12 kids, right? So he had to take care of them.
Amazing.
So he self-taught himself. Create ice cream, started off with mango and coconuts, and then the business grew from there. He moved his family to the, I guess, second largest city in Trinidad, San Fernando, where the business grew a lot more. He initially started by riding his bike everywhere and shouting out, "Come get your sweet and nice ice cream." And basically, he grew the business to probably about probably just half a dozen other people that rode the bike around as well. I learned recently also that from my uncle that he actually opened cafes as well. So he did this for a bit, about over 40 odd years, until his passing in 1986. And then before his passing, one of his daughters, Rosemary, sort of came under his wing, learned about the recipes. Actually, when she wasn't working, she used the ice cream to support her family. So when I moved to Canada, came back 2010, end of 2010, and in 2011 we seriously had a discussion about it and said, myself and my cousin Stafford decided, hey, let's do something about this. It's great enjoying the ice cream, but I can see there's a space for us in the market. So in 2012, we convinced my aunt to, join us in the adventure of starting a new ice cream company. Of course, we didn't know anything about ice cream. Basically, I just ate it. I was did a business, but and corporate world and all that. So it wasn't my first rodeo starting a company. So we decided to, hey, let's make a go for it. And I specifically looked at the strategy of where should we position the company, all that sort of thing, and the homemade family recipe. Back in Trinidad, my granddad made it. If you hear my aunt talking about it, he would wake up early in the morning, he would get coconuts, he would open the coconuts, he would grate the coconuts, boil it. The guy used to wake up probably at 4 a.m. I certainly wasn't doing that, but basically, he just used all natural ingredients. There was nothing else to use, right? I mean, it's that custard, milk, that sort of thing, sugar, and that was the ice cream. So we decided to, stay as close as possible to an all natural.
Wow.
All right.
My dream was I wanted to walk into one of the national supermarkets here in Canada, and walk in, and there would be the ice cream on the shelf. That was the dream.
That's a great vision.
Yeah, so we started with mango and coconut. And what I did was we found a food scientist company that specialized in ice cream. My aunt did her stuff in the kitchen from her memory in terms of the ice cream recipes, and we worked with the food scientist for like over a year to perfect a recipe that was basically an industrialized recipe of granddad's secret recipe, basically. So it took us about a year to do that, and then we ended up working with a university here called the University of Guelph. And that's just outside of, it ended up that we worked with the University of Guelph because there was someone called Dr. Goff, and he is the world leading renowned professor on ice. Surprisingly, he was in our backyard. So we went to Dr. Goff. I called him up and I said, hey, Dr. Goff, we're doing this. And, and he was intrigued, like Caribbean ice cream. Yeah, I'll try that. I'll help you guys. So Dr. Guff actually helped us perfect the formula down to the weight of the ice cream, how much air is in the ice cream. And that's why if you want to know a good ice cream, it's a thick ice cream and it's heavy, not frothy. So, because if it's frothy, it's got a lot of air in it and less ingredients, right? And 2.5 years later, we did our first manufacturing run. I clearly remember that bought our ice cream containers. We got a printer, and then a bunch of family members came around and stuck the label on the cups and the covers, that sort of thing. 1,000 cups and covers of
oh my God.
mango and coconut for like a whole week straight, and then we did manufacturing for the first time. So it was amazing to actually see it being manufactured, and then we went out and tried to sell it. We started selling the ice cream. So I remember Saturday mornings we would go out. This was like early summertime, and walk with a couple of samples, and walk into a West Indian store and say, hey, we've got this new ice cream based on my granddad's recipe, blah blah blah, and hope and pray that they would say, okay, yes, we'll put you on the shelf. And a couple of them did, which was great. A couple of them didn't. I remember there was one time that my aunt and I were out. I think it's a company called Charlie's here, and they've got a couple of outlets. And we walked into one, and essentially the guy said, no, I don't think we're going to have your ice cream. And
was it Charlie's record store?
No, Charlie's restaurant. Yeah, Charlie's
okay.
restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so we grocery and restaurant, I should say. And when we were walking out, there was somebody who was shopping, and they stopped and they say, "Hang on, what did you guys just say? Because I heard you talking and you mentioned the word Neale." And he said, "Yeah, Neale's, ice cream. That was my granddad, her dad. My Aunt Rosemary was with me." And he said, "Man, I used to live around there, and I remember your granddad. I remember him. He used to give me ice cream." And he told the guy who owned the store, "You have to have this in the store if I'm shopping here." And the guy said, "Okay, I'll put it in." so yeah, it was great. I mean, we won about 10 stores or 5 stores, and I remember I had to go rent a truck, get dry ice, put it in a box, and then deliver it myself. So yeah, we did that for a couple of years. I mean, it was mainly at the beginning, I would say, sort of summer focus. But in the summertime, it worked really well, and so we did that for about 3 years with independence. And then 2018, that's when we got our breakthrough in terms of getting into a major supermarket. So that was a lot.
Before you go into the breakthrough, I was telling Juliette, when I opened the website, they always say when you do a website, it has to be appealing. It has to be something that it'll be of interest, so people would stay there. And as soon as I open it, it's yellow, it's bright, it has the ice cream there. I was like, already wanted to go more in depth to see what flavors you have and so forth, Yes. And just to mention, I'm from San Fernando as well.
Oh, okay,
so
yes.
When I read it, I was like, San Fernando, that's like, that's very nice. Yeah. But I remember when they used to carry ice cream with the bikes, and they would have, I think it was like it was a red tarpaulin type thing over the bikes, and they would put ice cream in there. And how we used to make ice cream, this is what I wanted to ask you. Seeing that you wanted to go through the tradition of how it used to be before, do you still do the churning of, like when you first started, how did you guys make it? Because how we did it, we had the old ice cream tub. You'd have that tub, and you'd have to spin it. You get the real electric one that you plugged in. That was the second one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember when we started, we bought a electronic ice cream maker from Amazon. And then got it to my aunt, and I don't know if she still has it today in terms of when she does her R&D, but at home. But yeah, we did that, and then of course, going into the manufacturing side of things, It's a massive. We do what's called
bigger mass production.
we do what's called co-packing. So we rent space. We have a relationship with a large manufacturer, and then we rent time and space when we have to manufacture. So probably do close to about 5,000 liters when we do one flavor. Or so. So
for Canada, Trinidad. For Canada and Trinidad right now, right? Correct?
We're only in Canada right now.
Only in Canada. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, only in Canada right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
soon to be. Hopefully we'll soon to be back in Trinidad, but we'll see.
Well, I have a question because I know that the viewers don't know that you were actually on Shark Tank.
Yeah, the Canadian version of it. Yes.
Yeah. And was selected. Tell us about that experience, because that must have been terrifying as well as rewarding.
That's my boss on Dragon's Den.
We're here to ask you today for $100,000 in exchange for 25% of our business.
The velvety flavor, the texture, the smoothness on the back of your palate.
Works for me. You have a deal.
Yeah. Thank you. Congratulations.
So yeah, I mean, between the breakthrough and us, being a small company, or initial company, a startup, we went onto what's called Dragon's Den here, because Shark Tank originated in England. And then, as Dragon's Den, and then it moved over, and of course, in America it's called Shark Tank. But in Canada, in Dragon's Den, we went in. We sort of pitched to the producers ice cream, and as soon as they tasted it and heard the story, they said, "We got to have you on." Mustafa and I said, "Yeah, cool." So it took us a while. It probably took us like about 6 months before we actually, filmed the show. But yeah, it was petrifying to say the least, in terms of planning the whole thing, because you see those guys on Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, you see like a 5-minute pitch. You're in there for like about half an hour, 40 minutes, right? Just getting slammed.
Yes.
Questions, that sort of thing. So I mean, we prepared well. I mean, luckily, thankfully, we were the first ones on the show that day, in terms of when they were filming. So it was nice to, like, after they've had coffee, whatever it is, and early morning at like 7 a.m., we gave them ice cream. So they were loving it, basically. And at the time I think that was the time we had mango, coconut, and then we just brought out, or we're about to bring out, rum and raisin, and guava passion fruit, because rum and raisin, the story goes that every time we went into a supermarket and we were doing demos and all that sort of thing with a mango and coconut, some Jamaican would come up to us and say, "Where's the grape nut? Where's the rum and raisin, man?" And all that sort of thing. So after a while we thought, we got to have rum and raisin. Hopefully we'll have grape nut soon too. But yeah, so we did the show, and on the show, we were able to get, we had 3 offers from the Dragons over here, or the Sharks, as in the US. And we decided to actually merge all 3 into one deal. And then we got a deal on the show. It didn't work out after the show, because I think we were probably still a bit too early in our startup, because of course when you do the show, following that it's like due diligence and all that sort of thing. But I think at the time we were a bit too early, so we weren't able to kind of proceed with the deals that we were looking at, and we decided to go on our own and continue on our own. And I'll come back to Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, because there's a story behind that, from an investor perspective, that went full circle, basically.
What are the 2? So what are the favorite flavors among your, since you've been doing this?
Well, I would say it depends, actually. So so let me, before I answer that, we're in 2018 we were able to get onto large supermarkets, Sobeys, in Toronto, in what's called their local program. So we started off with them, and we had 4 flavors at the time: mango, coconuts, rum and raisin, guava passion fruit. You know, it's been about 2.5 years since we've entered the major supermarket chains. So unlike the US, we have 3 major supermarkets here, and they've got then individual brands underneath them. So today we're probably in about 600 or so stores across Canada. So so we're in Toronto, Montreal, British Columbia or Vancouver. We're in Saskatchewan. You can look that up on the map.
I know it.
We're in Halifax, which is Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Alberta. So we're in most major provinces now. So to answer your question, it depends on which province you're in.
Which province? Okay.
So I mean, our big seller right now is rum and raisin, 3 to 1.
That was on my mind.
Yeah, 3 to 1. But it's big among, because I guess Europeans love rum and raisin too, right? In Montreal, it's huge in terms of the French. So yeah, definitely rum and raisin. I think there's a tie between mango and guava passion fruit. And then, you know, we have pineapple coconut, which is pina colada.
Yeah.
And we just brought out a new one late last year, banana chocolate, basically.
I saw that, banana chocolate.
Yeah, banana chocolate. So it depends. So, you know.
I'm getting hungry right now. Like, where's my
Sorry, guys, I should have mailed it to you.
Oh my gosh.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
My only question that I have, and will you ever have an opportunity to come maybe to New York? Because, you know, we want the rum and raisin too.
Yeah, I mean, we're working on that right now, I would say. You know, our goals are, you know, for this year, I mean, because we're halfway through and we're about to enter our summer period, which is high sale period. You know, our goals are to definitely expand more in Canada in terms of the number of stores, and get, you know, really roll out more into each province. Because in Canada it's called provinces rather than states.
Yeah.
In the US, our intention is definitely to come to the US. We are working on it right now. Fingers crossed. You know, we're going to be in hopefully rolling out in Costco over here. You know, over next. You know, in next season, and then fingers crossed we'll then be able to move across the border. But we are working, you know, furiously in terms of looking at the US market for sure. So fingers crossed, next summer we'll be in the US.
Good. Right. You say Costco? I thought I heard Costco. Good, great. So
yes.
That's in my area, so at least you can get it. But I mean, Costco's all over the place.
They are. So yeah, that's our intention. And then you know, being a Trinidadian company as well, in terms of background, we are definitely looking at, you know, getting back into the Caribbean at some point as well. Because, you know, we still have a lot of people who, you know, ask us, why aren't you back in Trinidad? Why don't you come home? So yeah, we're working on it for sure. I mean, we meet so many people. Like I was looking at our last Facebook post, and there was somebody on there that again posted, "Hey, I remember your granddad when I was young." So it's nice seeing those types of things, and it's nice meeting people when, you know, pre-COVID, when we were doing events and all that sort of thing, we'd meet people all the time that would say, "Hey, I remember your granddad giving me free ice cream when I couldn't afford it, or buying the ice cream, or when I would hear his bell," and all that sort of thing. So yes, it's very encouraging, you know, when that happens. And now that we're in, you know, major supermarkets, it's also nice, you know, for me, walking into a supermarket I've never been in before and seeing the product on the shelf. So
Wow.
it's always a nice feeling, seeing that basically.
Nice.
That is. You touched on the pandemic, and I had that question. How has your
Sure.
business progressed, or has there been any changes that you had to make to your business ethics or planning or anything through the pandemic?
I would say yes. It's when no one expected what happened last year to happen, right?
Yeah.
And basically, through the pandemic, I mean, we were originally in Sobeys, as I mentioned, and then we rolled out into another large supermarket last year. In 2019, we brought on board an investor into the company. He's actually, you guys have Wall Street, we have Bay Street. So Bay Street. So Bay Street is our Wall Street. And essentially one of the major Black Bay Street guys, we got introduced through another banking person, and he loved the idea, he loved what we were doing, and he decided to invest in us. So essentially last year was supposed to be the year we were rocking and rolling and doing a whole lot of stuff, and then COVID came. So we were supposed to roll out in Canada. You have what's called planogram realignments, which is when you go into a grocery store, let's say you go into Costco, for example, or what's a grocery store that's near you guys?
We have Walmart, we have Key Foods, Stop and Shop.
ShopRite,
right. So usually you go into those stores, and if you go into a store near you or a store somewhere else, they look exactly the same, right?
Yes. Right.
So the setup is the same. So that's what's called a planogram. So every few months they realign and put new products in and that sort of thing. So essentially we were supposed to actually be aligned into the planogram last year, around April time. That's when ice cream gets realigned, so that it gets into spring and then into summer. None of that happened basically. So everything was put on hold because a lot of these companies as well use third parties, and then with COVID, no one knew what was going on, so they just halted everything. They just wanted to ensure essential services were provided by people being able to get groceries and that sort of thing. So it put a big dent in terms of what we were planning to do, but we were flexible. We adjusted, and essentially, as mentioned as well, we do a lot of demos, or used to do a lot of demos in stores for people to taste the ice cream and love it and then buy it. We couldn't do any of that either. So what we did was we pushed a lot of social media. We did a lot of PR. And what we did was we launched a pop-up store last year as well, downtown Toronto. So we had a store where it was basically a place that people could go to, enjoy the ice cream, and then learn about us, and then go back to their local supermarket and buy us. Right, so we became our own demo point, and luckily, the supermarkets that we were supposed to go into, they were in the summertime, July and August. We went into the supermarkets, which was great. So in addition to that, of course, last year you had a lot of the unfortunate issues around race as well, and with George Floyd, and that was that impacted us a lot as well. I mean, it was pretty, obviously being a Black-owned company is pretty negative from that perspective, but also positive from the fact that being a Black-owned company, we received a lot of support from the community, as well as advocates, basically. The person who invested in our company, his name is Wes Hall, and he founded one of the major Black institutions in Canada called Black North. And Black North is one of the institutions that was set up by Wes to fight systemic racism across Canada by bringing corporate companies in and getting them to change the way that they look at racism and within their organizations, because I think if systemic racism changes from a corporate level, then it filters down.
Yes.
So Wes, that's what he, his key focus right now, bringing in all the big banks, industries, all that sort of thing within Black North. We did get a lot of support last year. So, it was a difficult year, but it turned out well in the end, in terms of the support that we got. And to round off the Dragon's Den Shark Tank story, Wes Hall is now the first Black dragon on Dragon's Den in Canada. So even though we didn't get a original full investment out of it, our investor is now a dragon, basically. Which is pretty cool. Yeah.
You kind of wiped out all my questions. You just went in and you just
really? Sorry.
I have a few still.
You did.
Oh, okay.
Well,
sure.
So I wanted to know, with customers or clients, how do you handle disgruntled clients or customers?
Yeah, well, I mean, in this world, especially from a social media perspective, you want to be able to manage your brand well. And again, we're a family. We position ourselves as a family brand. So it's important that we take care of our customers. So if someone, I remember someone came to us and they said, "Hey, I love your rum and raisin, but I got this rum and raisin and there were no raisins. What happened?" I mean, so basically, I didn't know what happened. It could have been at the end of a line or something like that, and maybe something got stuck. So what we did was we sent out some rum and raisin ice cream, some free ice cream to the business. So that's kind of how we look at handling things. We if you went onto our Instagram or Facebook, we have community managers that handle that on the weekdays or weekends to try to communicate directly with individuals in terms of their concerns, because again, our ice cream is all natural. It is dairy, so it's not vegan as yet. We are made in a nut-free facility, and we're kosher. So essentially, those types of questions come up quite a lot in terms of, because in our ice cream we have an almond essence, and then someone says, "Hey, is that you say you're nut free? How come you've got almond stuff in there?" So then we have to respond and say, "Hey, it's a natural essence that's in there, but it's actually not from the almond." So that caused us to also change our ingredient listing so that it wouldn't cause a concern with individuals and that sort of thing, because we're completely nut free. So things like that we keep on top of. We even do special things when reached out to us and said, "Hey, you guys are in Sobeys, but I'm in Halifax and I went to Sobeys and I didn't see you guys. What's going on?" So as we said to them, "Well, sorry, we haven't rolled out to Halifax yet, but as soon as we do, I'm personally going to email you and let you know." So we rolled out to Halifax, I think maybe in April. And then I emailed the person directly and say, "Hey, the product is arriving on Wednesday. It'll be in your store on Saturday." Right. So she was like, "Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to go get it." And then she went to the store and, I remember I went email and she said, "I'm so disappointed. I went to the store. I didn't see it." So I picked up the phone. I called the store because I knew it was there. I knew it was delivered, so it could have been just at the back and somebody had put it out. Yeah. So I called the store and I got through to the frozen manager and I said, "Hey, I'm Andrew, work with Neale Sweet and Ice. Did you guys receive the product?" And he said, "Oh yeah, I know that packaging. Yeah, actually, it's not on the shelf. What we did is we got a lot, so we put it in a bunker." So, so you know those open bunkers that you have in, but that's frozen. So, I said, okay, take a photo of me, so I know where it is, and I could tell the customer. And then I forwarded on to the lady, and she said, "Yeah, I told all my friends we're going to get the ice cream." So that's the type of thing that we try to do in terms of, you know, everyone's on top of it. If I, you know, I mean, I think yesterday somebody emailed us and said, "Hey, I'm in this location. I can't find the ice cream." So I'd email one of our staff, and they know the product really well and where it is, and then they would basically you know, reply back to me or reply back to the customer directly and let them know, right? So so yeah, that's how we handle our customer service.
All right. What would you advise your younger self in terms of, you know, life and business today? Like, what do you know now? Would you advise your
yeah, good question. You know what? The thing is, you always want to in, you know, 2020, hindsight is always 2020, as they say, right? Mm-hmm. So you always think, you know, I wish I did X, Y, and Z earlier, or continue doing certain things to be able to move forward. You know, I guess a good example would be, you know, should we have, you know, kept going on our own for so long in terms of being self-funded, because as you know, Black-owned companies, you're typically self-funded for a while.
Yes.
Institutions and that sort of thing is difficult to get money from, right? And family members and that sort of thing, it's not the same, right? So, you know, should we have, you know, done that earlier? Maybe not, because then, you know, we wouldn't have gotten as far as we got, and then have to hand over the entire company to someone. So, so I say the advice I would give my younger self would be what I do today. Relationships are key. That's how I look at business life right now, and ensuring that, you know, the relationships that you need initially on when you need the help is what you do, rather than trying to do everything yourself. So that's a key thing that I would advise my younger self, or anyone. You know, what I pride myself on, and I always say to, you know, people, my talent is relationships. That's what I do. I build relationships and I bring people together under common vision, and then we go.
Okay, well then it sounds like we've already finished all of our questions, and you definitely know your stuff. I might add.
Yeah, I do interviews all the time, man.
Okay, so it shows. Because he just went through and was like,
yeah, answered all of the questions we had
before we had it. Okay, so the only thing is, you know, for your contact details, where people can contact you on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever else they can find you on, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we're on Instagram, TikTok.
TikTok. Oh gosh.
yeah, we're on TikTok, man. I don't get it, but yeah, you know, we I think we have like 150 something thousand followers on TikTok.
Are you serious?
Most of them are Americans, funnily enough, and they keep complaining about, when are you coming down here? So so yeah, it's just Neale's sweetnniceicecream.com. Basically, Sweet and Nice Ice Cream is our handle for all of our social assets as well.
So I have to ask, what would be a typical video on TikTok for your ice cream? What?
Oh, I know. I'm not gonna say. You go take a look at it. You'd probably you know, message me back and say, what is going on here?
I have to go and see. I really do. That piqued my interest. Is like, what?
Yeah. It's funny. Our social media agency, you know, they came up with the idea and that sort of thing, and it's a completely different persona from our regular, you know, Instagram and that sort of. You'll see what I mean. We actually have an ice cream person. So yeah, you know, okay. I won't say any more. Take a look at it.
Right.
Do you have one short tip that you can give to anyone who's opening their businesses right now, like a mom and pop shop? Anything in reference to progress, or any advice you'd like to give in closing?
Yeah, I would say that planning is very important. And essentially planning goes across a couple of things. One, in terms of your vision, two, in terms of your product, and three, in terms of your execution, right? So I think planning is really important. So if you're doing anything, make sure and plan for it, and then execute according to that plan. Of course, you're going to have to adjust based on market conditions, and things always change. But planning is key.
I would like to, well, we're wrapping it up with Andrew. Thank you very much for attending our interview. It was very enlightening. I'm going to go to TikTok as soon as I finish here. I'll send you
the link.
Okay, that's fine. And everyone, you'll see the link below on this recording as well. Thank you so much for coming to Table Talk. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so
great
much.
being here.
And we look forward to tasting the ice cream. So we'll probably have you back on if we don't add it in. We'll have you back on where we'll all just do a taste testing or something.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, cool. Have a good afternoon, guys.
Welcome to Table Talk. Welcome to Table Talk.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, that ends our interview with Andrew, Neale's Sweet and Nice Ice Cream. Oh, we hope to get some out to New York, or at least to the United States, I should say, soon. Thank you. Table Talk.
Back to our regular schedule program. Table Talk is now in session.
Well, that was our clip from Andrew regarding Neale's Sweet and Nice Ice Cream. Guys, you have to go and get some. But of course, we can't get any here in New York, or in the United States, I should say. Not yet. But keep it locked, and we'll definitely let you know when it does come out to the United States, because it's soon. In the meantime, I guess Haagen-Dazs is going to have to do.
But I thought I saw something where they can mail it to you, but I'm not sure. I mean, that's ice cream, so that's kind of difficult. Yeah.
Yes. So more on the storm, Elsa, right? Hurricane Elsa.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, she is ramping it up now.
Yeah. See, it's causing havoc in Barbados, in Grenada, in different parts of the Caribbean island. But the thing is, Caribbean people, we don't take things that serious. I see people running in the rain and jumping and driving and doing these things. They have some clips. I don't know if we're going to put a couple clips, after I tell you this, but there's some funny clips with Caribbean people just in there. So there's this singer, this soca artist, Alison Hines, who live in Barbados. She's Barbadian. And she was telling people, do not go outside to get any selfies with the storm. Don't do any of the sort, because this is a storm, things can happen.
Yeah. The storm, it has hit here also. The storm actually, I believe, my cousin gave me the heads up in DC that it was really, really bad in terms of the rain and stuff. And the alert on your phone was just going on and on and on. It kept going off, like, take shelter, go to the side, pull off the roads. And it really did some damage in DC and Virginia. I'm hearing it's gone out to Florida now, and I guess that's why it's out in the Caribbean. Let's hope that Elsa just kind of fades away, at least soon.
Update with Trinidad. They said borders are going to reopen July 17th. So anyone who's a citizen unvaccinated who's coming back into the country, you have to quarantine for 14 days. You have to get the test within 72 hours, and it has to be negative. And then children not vaccinated arriving with vaccinated parents will be allowed to go home within guidelines. So
it makes you wonder, though, Nikki, if this is what they're doing, like, who's paying for this? Who's checking? Are they really checking, or is that something that they're just saying? Is it really, are they strict?
When I travel to a different town, right, the airline was telling me that I have to get my test. When I got to the airlines, all the lady asked me was, have you been exposed? I'm like, wasn't I supposed to get my test? She's like, no, not necessary. So wow. I don't know, they could put this out as a formality, but at the same time, is like a lot of people who travel said that they had to quarantine for the 2 weeks. I know that's not a facade. They're definitely doing that.
Yeah.
And if you go to when you quarantine, you have to pay for your hotel. That's the next thing. You have to go vacation for at least 3 weeks, and within that 3 weeks, 2 weeks is where you're quarantining, and then the last week is where you take vacation. So I'm seeing that they telling you that you have to get vaccinated if you want to travel.
Wow. I mean, I know that a friend of mine, they actually went to England, and when they went, you had to fill out a form to say where you're going to be staying, and that you had to stay inside. And they were actually checking, guys. They were checking. They were making phone calls, and I do believe that they showed up one of the days to make sure that they were inside. So it is something that they are doing, but I'm like, where is the money to coming from to fund this? And I totally understand it, but still, these new Delta variant, it's moving around the countries and coming. It's over here now, and it started over there, and it's here. Yeah. So the only way you can stop these variants from moving is to stop the people from flying. At least that's how I see it. Whether you have the vaccine or not. Because the vaccine doesn't exactly stop you from getting COVID. It just weakens it if you actually catch COVID again. So if in that case, it can travel from, you have to, I think, lock everything down. Mm-hmm. Let's stop it. But money is involved, and where money is involved,
But I mean, spending money on, they're not spending money on the hotels, clearly. We're the ones who's spending money on the hotels. Whoever's making money, people who have to do that, or here in the news is saying the ones who's making money from that is the government, right? So I'm not going to go deep down into that. And stuff. Everybody have their conspiracy theories and all that, but just to let everyone know, what's going on. So thank you so much for watching another episode of our Table Talk show with Nikki G and Juliette. It was a pleasure also interviewing Andrew, who was a wealth of information, as you see. And, we're hoping to get our tasters or testers very soon. It looks delicious. I'm proud to be a Trinidadian even more because it came from Trinidad originally. And then now it's in Canada. And, he's hoping for it to come back here. And then for it to go back to Trinidad because it was originally in Trinidad.
I just think wonderful speaking to you again, Andrew, and we'll look forward to tasting our ice cream. And viewers, we thank you again so much for watching and being a part of us and becoming a family. We're becoming a family, guys, because we've done it, but this is our 3rd episode. Oh my God, 3rd episode, yes. So thank you so much for keeping, us. Yeah, hugs. And we'll speak to you and see us on the next one. Please keep us locked and subscribe and like, thumbs up.
Click the bell.
And we'll see you soon. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching again.
Thank you for watching Table Talk NJ.
Welcome to Table Talk. Welcome to Table Talk.